Welcome back to Freeman, and when we left off we were attacking the Ator Federation. We took Lubny with pretty significant casualties actually, because I kept getting myself killed for whatever reason. As you can see, Arbor is actually under siege by a band of mountain bandits, and I'm not particularly happy about that, obviously. I think that's a pretty awful way to be, but, well, I can't really do anything about it because Arbor is very far, all the way over here. Zalaniv is still at... Oh, it's actually under control by the Pozna now, so I guess that's okay. I mean, not really, because in the end we're going to have to tackle the Pozna, and they are going to be insanely difficult for us to deal with. Let's just say that. Anyway, I've done my best to try and get a couple of people in the garrison at Litvin and Lubny, and I am now here. I am now here right outside Zoria. Now, I've done a little bit of interchanging with my gear here. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to try using an SVD sniper rifle, which is of course what we've been using the past couple of episodes. And then I'm going to try using a Groza. Now, I'm not entirely sure how good or bad this actually is, but it uses the same ammunition as my SVD. So I thought to myself, okay, this is a decent enough chance to try out a new weapon. This is actually a weapon that you can buy from the black market itself, and I thought, okay, might be a fun idea. Otherwise, I have been pretty busy in clearing out the bandit camps, terrorist camps, all that kind of thing around Lubny and this area in general, because obviously if we're going to be moving into here, you know, with our capturing of these places, then obviously we're going to need a relatively safe area. Obviously it's not particularly safe with so many of these patrols running around, but what can you do about those guys? Anyway, what otherwise I've done is I've basically made it so that most of my troops are back at 7 out of 7, and unfortunately I don't have enough money to be able to upgrade these. As you can see, I literally have 3,000. So these guys are not going to get upgraded before we head into the battle, which is pretty... Actually, you know what? Wait a minute. I think I got a bit of a solution for this, actually. I can go over to Minov here, or Brezno. I could go over to Brezno as well, but I'm going to go over to Minov real quick because I have the ability to sell prisoners. I actually took a whole bunch of prisoners from the various bandit camps and so on that were in the area, and as you can see, these guys are going to sell for a pretty exuberant amount of cash, and that's going to enable me to level up my forces just in time to attack, basically. So let's level up these guys. I think I'm probably going to run out of money anyway. Let me actually just take a look here, because obviously these guys are FCA Grenadiers. Some of these guys are FCA Grenadiers at least, and they're very expensive. Obviously I mean, you saw how much money I had in the previous episode. I had like, what, 500,000 or something like that, and now I have 10,000 yet again. Yes. Anyway, Gary is absolutely fine here. It's going to be very interesting to see whether he actually survives. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to give him a med kit to try and see if he survives, and everyone else is looking pretty good in the dessert menu. I mean squad, of course. Anyway, let's go over to Zoria here and see what we can do. Oh, there we go. Whole bunch of faction money right there, very nice indeed. High happiness level, black market has appeared, very, very nice indeed. My food, however, has now finished. Very, very grumbly right there. I should really just head back to Minov real quick. I did not realize that we were going to run out of food that quickly. Does it have flour? They have nothing. They basically have nothing. Okay, I'm just going to buy this, just even though there is a demand for it. I'm just going to buy it because I need to. Let's go over to Brezno real quick, see if they have some food for me there, because obviously it is actually my town, so it should make sense that they do have a decent amount. Whoa, wow, yeah, they got a huge amount of flour. Now, obviously, I'm going to be taking flour literally not because it's realistic, but I'm going to be taking flour just because it is, by a gameplay standpoint, the utter best. You know, because as far as I'm aware, I don't think food has a big, shall we say, I don't think it makes a big impact on your unit's morale, except when you don't have it, if you know what I mean. So if you don't have food, then obviously people are going to get a little bit irritated by that. But if you do, then they just need to know that you have food, and I don't think it really matters about the quality. Obviously, correct me if I'm wrong, but as far as I'm aware, that doesn't seem to be the case. At least it's not the same as in Mount and Blade, for example, where if you have a wide variety of food or better food quality, then obviously you're going to get more morale from those things. Anyway, we're going to go into Zoria finally, and we can tackle them. I have 100 against the enemy's 105. I should not need 100 to be able to deal with these guys. Oh, I didn't reward Sahara. Well, that's unfortunate. They're going to be chucked in there. So I guess we'll just have to see what we can do. Now I'm going to be a bit careful here. Once again, we're going to do a very similar thing to what I've done previously, but we're going to do it in stacks of 5 squads, I guess. And we'll see how that goes. And we'll just do something along these lines. We'll basically make it so that these guys are going to go over here to this flag. And we'll see how they go. And then obviously we'll have the other guys going the other way. And maybe we'll come up here and maybe do some damage from distance, and then maybe I'll do a little bit of sneaky action. I'm not entirely sure how that's going to go, but we'll see. Now this thing actually does have a scope, as you can see right here, which I'm actually really I'm actually kind of eagerly anticipating how effective it's really going to be, because it uses the same ammunition, as I said. And I think it is pretty significant, the scope. The scope actually seems like a 4x or a 6x. I don't know. I think it might be a 6x zoom. I'm not entirely sure. But it's going to be fun to find out by any means. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to swing around, obviously, because there are a significant amount of people in the garrison here. I will try my hardest to get around the side. Now bear in mind, I don't know whether you've noticed, but the various bandit camps and things like that, I've been actually getting a lot of kills. I actually haven't been playing with this assault rifle, so this is actually the first battle that I'm doing with this. I literally just bought it, you know, prior to the episode beginning, and I thought it would be fun to try it out together. But I did get a whole bunch of kills with the SVD in the whole handful of battles that I did in the terrorist camp, the pirates base, and so on and so forth. And I actually did level up, so I now have a significant amount more HP because I've actually started leveling up my constitution, which is obviously going to make a significant difference in my survivability. So hopefully we will be able to do something here. I'm going to get down a little bit. Going to try and move away a little bit more, see if I can maybe just avoid being absolutely massacred by the opponent. And I think for the most part my people will be able to survive pretty nicely. Now where am I? Where have I gone? I'm all the way over here. Okay, so if I can take this... Whoa! Oh, that FCA Grenadier absolutely murdered those guys. That was really nice. That was really, really nice. Now, most of my people do have medkits. I think some of them don't, but I believe they are just the new recruits that I completely lost, basically. So because they all got merged into each other's squads and things like that, and I thought to myself, okay, well, if I'm going to be spending this much money on leveling them up, then I will then give them first aid kits. So if they do survive this particular siege, then I'll definitely give them first aid kits, but otherwise I'm just going to leave it for the moment until they may level up a little bit further. Okay, so I think I can actually move forward now, because there is a flag right ahead of us here. We are losing a couple of our people, but it's actually not even a big deal. I don't know what's happening. It seems like my guys are absolutely murdering the opponent in every single way, and I gotta say I'm actually very pleased about that, because if we weren't able to do it, then obviously we'd have a pretty awful repeat of the previous episode where we really did not do very well, and I think that's because I just literally got myself taken out all the time, which was really not the best thing to ever happen, but sometimes you just can't prevent it, you know. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to just place these guys around here, going to get them to go into the flag if at all possible. These guys are all fighting. Yeah, these guys are the ones that are actually fighting at the moment, and I'm thinking maybe we should retreat them. Shall we retreat them? I don't know, because if we retreat them, then maybe what we can do is we can get our other squads in. Actually, you know what? I can actually get one more squad in here. I can get 2 more squads in. And let's tell them to go over there real quick, and we will get them to support our forces in the area there. And then I'm going to go and take the other flag. Actually, does it even matter? There's only 17 enemies remaining. What even happens with the Atoll Federation? It's really weird. Have you noticed that? Where, literally, I'm doing this sneaky sort of like backline commando stuff, and then all of a sudden the guys don't have 105 units in the garrison anymore. They've got 15 or whatever, and then we're just about to take the flags, and it literally just eliminates the need for us to murder, what, 6 units, which is just hilarious. Not entirely sure what's going on with that, but there you go. I've taken this. I actually really like how our banner looks. Speaking of that, I should probably make a custom banner. Let's face it, I should probably make a custom banner with my own logo on it or something along those lines, and use that in a future playthrough, because I think that would add a lot more personability, you know, a lot more sort of like, you know, recognition, you know, that enemies will then be like, oh, it's that guy, he's a fool, but his army's rather powerful. Yeah, anyway, there's 31,000 experience gain, 106,000. Wow, 106,000, that's crazy. Okay, so we're going to take some Spetsnaz, some miniguns and all that sort of thing, and then we'll take some military battle vests, and that's literally all I can take. I'm actually going to swap out the weapons, because personally, the weapons do not sell for that much. And I personally don't think I don't think it's too worth it. Otherwise, we do have some sharpshooters and federal infantry that we can potentially either sell if we want to, or we can get them to come into our army themselves. Otherwise, whoa, wait a second. Hello, there are a huge amount of prisoners here. Wow, this is actually kind of crazy. Okay. Let's do it. Let's take Federal Machine Gunners, Poznar Sniper Elites. We could take Poznar Fighters as well, technically, so I guess we'll take those. Poznar Elites, Fighters. We're not going to be taking any of the CFR, because as we've seen, the CFR are pretty easy to eliminate, so we don't really want to incorporate those into our army, if at all possible, and that is it. Okay, fantastic. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take some Mounted Bandits, and some Cossack Rebel Fighters, and some of these guys, I guess, and then we're just going to execute some of those guys to make it a little bit easier for us. But actually, will it make it easier for us? I'm actually unsure, because if we execute, we could, because that's gonna take attempts, you know what I mean? It's gonna, as you can see, it just took an attempt right there, but it did increase the morale of everyone else pretty good, so maybe we should just do it a little bit more. Let's do something like that. Should we just, actually, you know what, let's just do all of this. I think everyone's at 100 now. Yeah, most people are at 100, so let's just persuade to join. We can do persuade to join. Yeah, look at that. So now our attempts are not going down. So executing lower tier units is a really good way to go. I think someone actually told me about that in the comments a while ago, and I've not actually, you know, done it before, but it seems really effective, so I might be doing that in the future a little bit more, which is really nice. And we have a lot of Poznar Fighters as well, so let's just get all these guys. There we go. And you know what, I'm actually going to persuade all these guys too, because what we can do is we can take these guys into our ranks, and we can basically make it so that they can be the, you know, they can be the garrison in Zoria. I think that would probably be a pretty decent idea. So let's just get 2 new squads. I don't think they have enough for 2 new, so no, they don't. So I guess we'll just get 6 or 5 even. Yeah, they've only got about 5. Okay, so otherwise what we can do is we can basically just kind of cannibalize the rest of the units. I know that sounds weird, but we're going to just like merge them with the rest of our forces into each other. And as you can see, we've got Poznar Sniper Elites here. They've got such insane reach. Just look at their sight range, 2.4, actually 2.396. That is amazing. So we're just going to put a whole bunch of those guys in there. Federal Sharpshooters, where are those guys? There's the Federal Sharpshooters. They've got even more sight range. Whoa, okay, that's kind of crazy. Okay, so those guys are pretty good. Let's put them in there. We have a pretty decent amount of cash, so we can level up some forces as well. And yeah, I'm gonna need another name, aren't I? I'm gonna need another name. Oh, Sahara took a lot of casualties, unfortunately. That's problematic. Oh well, never mind. I suppose that's just how it goes, you know? That's just how it goes. Okay. So yeah, I'm going to need some more names. I'm probably going to have to search the comments again and see what's going on there. Wow, these guys are all Posner, as you can see. They're very good at fighting in desert, but not so much anywhere else. Alright, well, let's just automatically equip them with vests. We'll equip these guys as well. And is Gary still alive? Yeah, Gary is still alive. Can you believe it? Gary the gangster. What a crazy guy. He's doing a good job. Alright, well, I think what we're going to do is we will go into the buildings here. I'd like to try and see if they need anything particularly. They could definitely use a warehouse. They could definitely use a warehouse. I could use some more cash, to be honest. So I'm probably going to go over here and maybe sell this and this. There we go. Ugh. There's just not enough money. There's not enough money in these merchants for my liking, because obviously I literally have so much loot, and it's very difficult. Oh, this guy has no space. I was literally clicking on items and thinking, oh yes, he's definitely taking my money. I mean, my loot. Ugh. Why do I keep saying that? I'm selling my money? Why do I keep saying I'm selling my money? I don't know. I don't know. In another series of mine, I said, I'm going to be selling my money now. Yes, let's not sell my money. Not just yet. Anyway, there you go. That's pretty decent. Got some Marauder helmets here. Maybe we should take some Marauder helmets. And then we can sell our military battle vests, police camo. Yes, not our police camo, apparently. There we go. Okay, well, I guess that's good enough. I guess that's fine. And we're going to have to try and get some wood or something along those lines to try and build up Zoria. But basically what we can do now is we can put this squad in here. Hopefully they're going to be restoring themselves relatively easily. And otherwise I'm just going to stay here and try and replenish our forces a little bit more. So I'm just going to get more throwing skill, I think. And that will be that. So let's just see whether anyone decides to attack us, because obviously the Atoll Federation, they literally only have one town. You know, they only have one town remaining. It doesn't seem like this particular town has any people, by the way. It doesn't seem like they have any people for me to recruit. So that's kind of interesting as in itself, because usually they do. But maybe they were already taken by another faction or something along those lines. So it seems like the Atoll Federation only has Antipil remaining. I'm very pleased about that, because I was very much dreading attacking them. And now I am dreading attacking the FCA, who are our next targets. And with that, that will be it for this episode. I thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.